Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk again about the Visa 190. As you can see, I just came back from the beach after I had filmed the video of the Visa 190. What is it? And I had given you guys a brief explanation of what the Visa is. And now I wanted to go a bit further into detail of the steps that I had to take, that I went through in order to get the Visa 190. So I have my computer here to support me, and let's get started. From the information I have that was given to me by my lawyers, these were supposed to be my 8 steps. I'm saying the word supposed because quoting one of my favorite movies, it's different to know the way than to walk the way. It's different there's a huge difference between knowing the path and walking the path. So here it goes. Step number 1 is to confirm your eligibility, and that comes from your migration lawyer consultancy and first appointment that you have with them. They will tell you if you are eligible or if you're not eligible. In most cases, if you're a professional, you have some experience at your occupation is in one of the lists of the 190 or 189, then you're most likely going to be eligible. And if you are younger than 45, I think, although the younger you are, the better it is. So it's this is something you should get started a bit as quickly as possible, as soon as possible. You should start this process, because the older you are, the less points you have. Even though the older you are, the more experience you have, so the more points you will have on the work side. But sometimes it doesn't compensate. Sometimes those 2, 3, 4 extra years of work won't compensate being 4 years older. So careful with that one. Step number 2 is to validate your occupation. And what I mean about validating your occupation is validating everything that your occupation involves. And for that step, that specific step, I will have another video in a couple weeks where I will go into detail on all of the steps I had to go through to validate my occupation. But right now, just to summarize, occupation is not the same as validating your bachelor's degree. That's not the same. Validating your occupation involves a lot more things. It involves your work. It involves could be essays that you have to make to prove what did you do with the bachelor's degree that you had, and what did you do at work. Or sometimes it could be reference letters. So I'll go a lot more into detail in an upcoming video. Step number 3 is the calculation of the points that you have according to how many points did you get, or how many years of work experience did you get validated when you validated your occupation. You'll get a certain amount of points plus your age plus your level of English. So you will get a certain amount of points. So in your step 3, you will know how many points you have after you validated your occupation and you're pending your English test, which would be your step number 4. Is to undertake an English test. I will probably go into detail as well on a further video, further in the future, about which English test you could take. Which English test did I take? I took the TOEFL, by the way. There's plenty of other tests you can take. They're all standardized and they're all pretty easy. They're very straightforward. You just need to know how to take the test. But I will go into detail in another video. But that's your step 4, and you'll get a certain amount of points according on your level of English and your English proficiency. You could be either a superior, or you could be proficient, like it's a professional level, or intermediate, or lower, which you're probably not eligible. And remember, this is step 4. You should not take an English test before planning to migrate to Australia, because you don't even know if you're eligible. You should. The English test is one of the easy parts of this. The hard part is validating your occupation. That's the really tricky hard part, and that's where the lawyers you hire will prove that you hired them for a reason and that it's good that you have them. Step number 5 is to apply to a state nomination. This is because you are applying to the Visa 190. I applied for the state nomination of New South Wales, but I had the option of applying to Queensland or Tasmania, as I have said before, and that gives you some extra points. So now you have the points of the of your occupation, you have the points of your English test, you will have the points of your state nomination, and of course you will have your points of the points that you automatically have because of your age. This is very important. Then the step 6 is to gather all the documentation you need to apply to step number 7, which would be the application of the visa. In the step 6, you will probably get the invitation to apply to a visa, and the step 7 will be to apply to the visa. So they're not the same. Applying for the invitation to apply is another step, is step number 6, and the application of the visa, the final application, is the step number 7. And once you've applied, you will need to go undertake some medical tests and your police records or police checks of all the places where you have lived in the past 10 years. That's the step number 8. For me, that was tricky because I had lived in Argentina, and it was not so easy to get paperwork from Argentina to Guatemala because of the Argentina situation in general, and how to send money there to pay for anything, and how to get something sent from Argentina to Guatemala, and the US dollar problem that they have, the currency problem, and all that nonsense that's going on there. But yeah, that's the summary. It's 8 simple steps. First, to confirm your eligibility with the proper migration lawyers with a law firm. Remember that law firm should be in Australia and not in your country. It's not a migration agency, it's a migration law firm. Step number 2, validate your occupation with the proper place. It would be the School of Engineering, the School of Professionals, like I did. Like it depends on a case-by-case scenario, and the people will know where to validate your specific occupation will be, again, the migration lawyers. Step number 3, you'll get the points that you have received from your occupation, age, etc., to see how much you need to get on your English test. Step number 4 will be to take the English test. It could be the IELTS, the TOEFL, and there's a couple more, which I think they're all the same. My partner took the IELTS, I took the TOEFL, and we both did really well, so it doesn't really matter. Step number 5, to get the state nomination. If you're applying to a state, if you're applying to the 189, you don't need this step. Step number 6, gather all the documents. This will be a very long list of documents that your lawyers will need. You will have some time to gather all of this information, all of these documents, get the proper translations if your country is not a country that speaks English, or that your documents are not in English, obviously, then you'll need the proper translations as well. Step number 7, step number 6, well, with all that documentation, you will also apply to the invitation to apply to the visa. Step number 7 will be to apply to the visa with everything all together. The lawyers will do this for you. And step number 8 will be medical and police checks. So that's a summary. I hope you guys are encouraged to apply to PR, permanent residence in Australia, or any sort of visa. Get the proper law firm to help you. If you have any questions about my personal experience with all of this, you can talk to me to my Instagram account directly, or you can leave your email down in the comments below, and I will be sure to contact you. I'm really open to talking about all the hardship I had with this process, all the steps where I had a bit of trouble, and all the steps that were just very easy. I would say in my case, which I will go through in another video, validating the occupation was very tricky. It was the hardest part of my process, and the easiest part of my process would be the English test and probably the state domination. That was pretty easy. So I hope you guys like this video. Subscribe to my channel. I'll be uploading a video every weekend for all of 2022. I'll probably make another video right now, or I'll go back to the beach to enjoy this beautiful day. So take care, guys. Until the next one. Bye.